This has massive implications for the Los Angeles Lakers as LeBron James has come out and shed some light on his future in the NBA and gave some very interesting insights surrounding his thoughts on the Luka trade. We're going to break that down as well as discuss some interesting updates as it pertains to LeBron James following him missing the All-Star game with an injury. Stay tuned for all that in this episode, folks. But before we get into it, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. If you're part of the 90% who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Lakers content. Your guys' support has been absolutely fantastic. So thank you guys for that as we are approaching 16,000 subscribers. But ladies and gentlemen, we had All-Star Weekend. The dunk contest was pretty good. Obviously, Mac McClung, an insane run there. Other than that, it was pretty lackluster. Very interesting. Again, they're trying to rejuvenize the All-Star break. But one big thing that came out of it tonight was LeBron James being out with an injury. We have some new insight on that. He spoke out about his injury. But one of the bigger things going forward was, of course, LeBron James coming out and speaking to the media and revealing some interesting details that has a ton of implications, not only on the Lakers this year, but into their future as well. And there's a bunch of different things. And let's start with this. Again, he won't be playing in the All-Star game tonight due to ankle and foot discomfort. And this obviously had a bunch of NBA fans, or Lakers fans, I guess, intrigued about why he's missing it. We never heard about this. And, we'll dive into that. But I want to start, and we'll get back, and you can see the injury here. We'll start with this, and then we'll go into the other stuff. So on his ankle issues, I have to look out for myself when it comes to this injury that I've been dealing with for years. I am headed back to LA tonight. There will be no vacation for me. Now, I see a lot of fans out there saying that LeBron should have not came in the first place just to give another chance to guys like Norman Powell to play, their first All-Star appearance, all these different things. Let me know down below what your thoughts are on that, because I think at this current juncture, maybe LeBron, and I'm sure LeBron thought he was probably going to play and then maybe woke up with a bit of discomfort or maybe, some more pain than he initially thought. Are you upset at LeBron for, coming to the All-Star game despite, taking away an opportunity for somebody else? Let me know down below. When it comes to his ankle issues, you have to assume that this is strictly just precautionary. He's showing no signs of injuries during the game. He wants to be 100%. Again, he said he's been dealing with it for years, so it's just something that he's really trying to sustain his body. And LeBron James is one of the best athletes of all time, one of the best athletes at sustaining his body we have ever seen in NBA history. So to be able to now come out and just openly say this is good, but for all you concerned about the injury, once he said he wasn't going to play, it is what he's been dealing with for a while. There will be no vacation for him. He's going back to LA and to start getting back into training. So we'll dive a little bit more into it later, but no big deal for his ankle injuries, which is pretty big because, if you have LeBron go down with any sort of injury, miss any sort of time, obviously you want LeBron to work. And really for the Lakers, this is best case scenario. He still heads to the All-Star game, but of course you now get to rest him for the entire week, because what matters the most here is Luka Doncic and LeBron James staying healthy. Injuries have always plagued the Lakers, when it comes to AD being injured, LeBron being injured, all these different things, right? And they need to make the playoffs. They need to continue to push up in the Eastern Conference. And the best way to do that is to have LeBron James just completely resting. He's 40 years old, completely resting for the week. So very good sign there. It worked out in the Lakers' favor and ultimately decided, is a very good thing. Now, when it comes to a couple other things, I want to dive into this. This is a big thing surrounding his future in Toronto, in the NBA, right, with the Lakers. So, see this here, LeBron James on Luka Doncic, and he spoke out on the Doncic trade for the first time, really giving some in-depth details here, and he says, the excitement of being able to add a caliber of player like that, a generational talent like that to our franchise, it's something that's given me energy. I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do as we continue getting into form, as he continues getting into form. I think it can be really good going down the stretch, but we'll see what happens. Now, we have another quote surrounding his actual future, which we'll dive into in a minute here, but this is super intriguing because you think about, again, this is the first time that LeBron has really spoken out after he's had some time to digest the trade and everything like that. Obviously, he was close friends with AD. LeBron was one of the biggest, perpetrators in getting AD over from New Orleans to the Lakers. He wanted them. They won a championship in 2022. Everything worked out there. But as you start to think about now what it means to have him with Luka Doncic, because now there's a lot of speculation about Luka Doncic helping extend LeBron James's career. Now, obviously, at this juncture, LeBron James' primary and sole focus is on this season. He wants to win a championship this year. The Lakers want to win a championship this year. That's why they put a lot of their chips into the table with that Mark Williams trade before, of course, got nixed by the Lakers. The centers are, the center position is going to be an issue. It's always going to be an issue for the rest of the season, whether it be Jackson Hayes, Alex Len, Trey Jemison, Christian Koloko, whoever else they decide to go out and get in the buyout market if they do. But what matters this season, you can see here, I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do as we continue getting into form and as he continues getting into form. Now, in this specific quote, he's specifically talking about, of course, this season. But as you start to, dive into it deeper here, you can see this here. LeBron James says the addition of Luka Doncic has given him energy, but he hasn't considered whether it will extend his career longer than expected. Said he's excited about the potential for the Lakers and thinks they can make a big run down the stretch. Now, this obviously is interesting because one of the biggest things with LeBron and Luka was will now LeBron extend his career for A, pick up his player option after this season, which he hasn't 100% confirmed to do, even though it does seem like in all likelihood he will play next season. Of course, his son is now, might start to get minutes next year in the NBA, depending on how he continues to develop down there in the G League. I mean, the last time we saw a full game from Bronny, he was very, very good against the Jazz, put up 9 points in 11 minutes, whatever it was, 10 minutes. So now with LeBron, as you start to think about, you're seeing his son play 9 minutes a game, whatever it ends up being, right? And now you have LeBron James saying with Luka Doncic has given him energy. And we also saw, don't forget, a report from Brian Windhorst come out that I covered a few days ago. And it basically covered the fact that he doesn't think LeBron is done. Now, obviously, Windy has been covering LeBron his entire career, really helped make Brian Windhorst the reporter that he is. All credit to him. But you have the report from Brian Windhorst saying, hey, I don't think LeBron is done. I think he has many years left, whether it be 2, 3, 4, whatever it ends up being, right? Because his contract is over after next season, unless he declines his player option. Then he's going to be a free agent. Maybe he doubles up for another 2 years in a maximum contract, $60 million a year, $55 million a year. But he said he hasn't necessarily considered whether it's going to extend his career beyond longer than expected. And we don't really know what exactly his career is at this moment when it comes to, longer than expected. But you can see this here. Again, he said he's heading back to LA tonight. We'll have no vacation or time off. About as locked in as you're going to see LeBron. He has maybe 1 to 2 more runs left in him. This upcoming run is going to be one of those final runs. And yeah, whether or not you think, I don't think he's going to play till 45. Windy did come out and say he thinks he has a couple more years left. I think realistically 2 to 3 years here with the Luka. You kind of then, Luka Doncic, get him into his age 28 season in the middle of his prime. You hand the torch a little bit. I think he's going to play with Luka for a couple more years, but this has huge implications going forward because the Luka Doncic trade, again, hopefully will extend LeBron's career. He seems super excited about Luka being there. He said it giving him a new, breath of fresh air, giving him new energy. This is going to be a huge, stretch for the Lakers and LeBron's career, and that's why he is going as hard as he's going. That's why he's sitting out these games. That's why he's doing all these things. I mean, you look at the depth chart right now. This is a team that can win if everybody steps up. Whether you have DFS in the starting lineup or Hachimura, Jackson Hayes. Hopefully, he's not going to be too injured or out for too long. Like this is going to be a critical stretch for Lakers basketball, and it's going to have to rely on LeBron and Luka. And hopefully, this gives LeBron some extra run going forward into the future for his career. But let me know down below. Do you think the acquisition of Luka Doncic will allow LeBron James now to play a couple more years or even pick up his player option after this season? Because that's the biggest question mark going forward now for the Lakers' competitive window. Yes, Luka Doncic has opened up greatly, but now you have to start to consider not only Luka Doncic's competitive window, the Lakers' competitive window, but what it looks like with and without LeBron James. One final thing, Dalton Knecht kind of broke the silence on the canceled trade. He said it's strange. I'm one of the few people that's ever been traded and then come back. I had AD, Bron, and now I'm with Luka and Bron, so it's crazy. I get to learn from a lot of the greats. He seems to got over the little bit of sadness he had surrounding the trade. He seems good to go, locked in. Going to need him to really perform down the stretch for the Lakers if he wants to kind of get back into the rotation fully and hit a bunch of threes. Right now, he's their backup 2-3 guard. It's going to be interesting to see. But ladies and gentlemen, that'll wrap it up. Let me know down below what your thoughts are on LeBron James and if you think this is going to extend his career or if he's going to retire after the next couple of years. Thank you guys for watching. Cheers.